morning. For Traders Exclusive, this is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors, reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. What I'd like to talk about the equity markets, and more specifically the rotation and the new leadership we're seeing in the equity markets. So we just take a step back. Last week we saw a few selling days. Actually, every day was down day for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. The Dow was a little bit mixed. And then we saw the FAANG stocks getting hit, meaning Amazon was unable to keep its hold. Netflix is still struggling after its earnings, still trading well below the 50-day moving average. Nvidia sort of in limbo, and stocks like Facebook pretty much looking like it's left for dead for now. So one would think that perhaps the market has run its course and we're turning over a new leaf. However, and it is a big however, during all these days, there have been hundreds, and I mean hundreds of stocks that have been trading up on volume over the last few days of last week. And more specifically, I'm calling this, we're seeing new leadership, and there's a lot of stocks in that software group that's also doing very well. So the point is, this kind of continuing in the theme of the things I talked about over the last few weeks, is that you want to focus on stocks that are showing high relative strength, stocks that have held their high volume gap up closes after earnings and continue to trend higher along their 10 and 20 day. And we're seeing many stocks like this. It tells us the market is just shifting a little bit. However, the trend continues. For instance, this morning, right off the bat, I had over 300 stocks up on volume, and about 10 minutes ago, I still had 268 stocks up on volume. Those are the kind of numbers I see in big market rallies. So just to go over a few examples, none of these are buy recommendations. As a full disclosure, I do own most of these stocks, so let's talk about a few of them. So there's Okta software, that symbol's OKTA, pretty much had a big gap up on earnings last week, pretty much is trading still right around that level. So that's something to keep an eye on. There's a stock like Roku, ROKU, experienced a little bit of volatility. However, after its earnings, it still keeps trending above its 10-day moving average. You had a stock like Grubhub, GRUB, big gap up on earnings, fell back for a few days, however, reclaimed those levels and continued higher, trending above its 10-day moving average. Stock like Twilio, symbol TWLO, same story. Gap up on earnings, held that close, a little bit gyration, however, continued to trend above its 10-day moving average. Stocks like the Trade Desk, symbol TTD, same situation. Gap up, high volume close, held that level, continued to trend along its 10-day moving average. Stock like Copa Software, COUP, it's a new one a few days ago, big gap up on earnings. For the next 3 sessions, it's held that level, that high volume close, and still actually the 10-day has to still catch up with that stock. Alteryx, symbol AYX, similar situation, trending above that 10-day moving average, not giving anything up. And of course we have Applied Micro Devices, its symbol is AMD. It's had a monstrous move. That one's a little tricky, might look like it could be topping because it basically went up 50% over about a 2-week period. However, it never violated a high volume close, trading well above its 10-day moving average, kind of holding on to its 5-day exponential moving average. So you need to be a little bit careful with that. But again, the whole point is there's a new leadership coming on in this market. There's probably another 30 great stocks I could talk about that are showing similar characteristics. So the point is, what you want to look for in this market is stocks that are holding their high volume close, stocks that continue to trend about their 10 and 20 day, stocks that are showing great relative strength, and those are probably going to be your new leaders. You might need to take your focus off a little bit off those FAANG stocks. Typically when you see big leaders like that turn over, it seems like it's the end of the market, but in this case it may not be the case at all. But as always, let price and volume be your guide. This is George Kachuk with RCM Wealth Advisors, reporting to you from the CME Group trading floor in Chicago. Have a great trading day.